Hi, loves! Welcome to Villa Vibes and Hot Takes, AW edition. So, we are back with some more shenanigans. It's only week 2, and it has been absolutely insane. So, it's a full-blown Villa chaos. Like, it's gotten really messy.
There's a lot going
Like
on.
the freaking messy meter is completely full now. And we're only on week 2 and it's 6 weeks. So I am living for this messy recap though. I really am excited about this because I got a lot to say.
After tonight's episode, yeah.
So let's go. And in no specific order, the first thing I'm gonna talk about, or I'd like to talk about, is Jeremiah and Huda, because you know I got my eye on them. What the fuck was the silent treatment about?
I don't know.
That's like the thing. It's
That's-
like a dog on a bone. I can't get over that.
I don't know what was going on there. I think she had all right to kind of push him to be like, okay, what's going on? Because he's sitting there like, no, nothing's fine. Like, nothing's wrong. I'm good. I'm fine. Whatever, blah, blah. And it's like, no. If she's sitting there like, I know that you're not, that something's off here. There's a disconnect. That man wouldn't even look at her.
It's called communication, by the way.
But he wouldn't even look at her. And then he's like, no, nothing's wrong. I'm good. But she had to sit and pull teeth in order to find out. And just for it to be, oh, well, my friends got in my head, like.
But have you ever experienced that? The man that, or the guy that chooses silence over just clarity. Like, why not have the conversation? Have you? Because that's happened to me.
I think the thing, too, though, is that he knew that he was going to sound dumb for being like, well, my friends got in my head about our relationship.
And I find that to be a red flag. I mean, he is young, though. He is young.
What, 25?
In man years, that's still a boy. No offense, boys. 25 is still a boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is.
I don't know.
And what was the deal with the whole baby thing? Like, so when a man has a kid, totally fine. But when a woman comes with a child, like, she's judged for it. It's that double standard again.
Well, look at it how Orlandria was trying to say it. Like, oh, well, there might be a toxic relationship between her and her baby father or whatever.
And by the way, do you think that was sisterhood or sabotage?
I think it was definitely more on the sabotage. And I think there has been no sisterhood this season. Honestly, there's not much of like
to agree with
brotherhood either, to be honest.
They got some romances going on, no?
No, not
maybe Nick and Jeremiah.
a little bit, but
not like
not in the
past. Yeah,
not even in the few past seasons. I think Orlandria was definitely wrong for also trying to be like, well, she might have a really toxic relationship with her baby father or whatever, and how that could be a slippery slope.
Just like throwing her under the bus. She doesn't even know. Like,
no, exactly. And I'm like, why are you assuming that her relationship with her child's father is negative and that it's toxic?
Because there are healthy co-parent. There is healthy co-parenting out there, and you know, your dad and I have had very healthy co-parenting, so it is possible. So the fact that she just got ahead of everything and said that, I don't think that was
like,
right.
People in their 20s, that's become a big thing. It's an assumption that if someone has a baby father or a baby mother, that it's automatically a toxic relationship.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it a lot, and I think that's just due to people in their 20s, like especially my generation, because I guess technically a lot of them are still part of my generation. They have a really toxic like relationship with baby mothers and baby fathers, and it's really annoying. I think it all comes back down to people not knowing how to communicate and not knowing how to communicate with the people that they choose to have a child with. And so not everyone, but a lot of them seem to have that like
assumption.
No, she automatically got a toxic relationship with her baby father, and I'm like, that's not true.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I thought that was like
judgmental
and unfair.
Yeah. Because it's also like, who's to say that she doesn't have a really great like father for her child who's super accepting? Clearly, he must be on the accepting side if she's on the show right now.
100%. I agree. I didn't think that was. It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool.
Especially not coming from one of your girls.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I think you're right. I don't think there's a lot of a sisterhood this season. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see. But how about a Maya and Ace showdown? Throwdown. What happened?
Okay, so do I think Ace came off a little
arrogant?
Yes.
Yes.
However, I do understand why he did, because let's be honest, when you look back at that, whether he said it or not, she clearly wasn't having it. She wasn't going to let him say anything. She kept coming at him.
But she didn't even, like, breathe between sentences.
That's the issue, and that's why I understand why he went into that conversation like, okay.
He got defensive.
He did, but it was also, he went in with, like, okay, I'm going to say my piece, you listen while I speak, and then you talk, and I will listen while you speak. It wasn't just, oh, I'm going to talk and you're going to listen, and that's it.
Okay.
It was, I'm going to listen while you're talking and I won't interrupt you. All he was asking was for him not to be interrupted, and we have to take into consideration, there had to have been, and maybe, it wasn't something that was picked up on before, like, during their previous conversations, but he had to have seen it multiple times for him to get to that point of being like, okay, look, if we're going to have this conversation, I need you to listen while I talk, and then I will listen while you talk, and neither one of us interrupts the other. Because if not, I think if not, he wouldn't have said it. But clearly he picked up on it enough times during their conversations where he was like, you know what? The only way we're going to be able to have any conversation is if you stop talking and don't interrupt while I'm speaking, and if I do the same. And
that's fair. But do you think her reaction was maybe like, was it justified or a red flag?
It was a red flag.
Yeah,
she didn't let him say anything. I forgot what she kept saying over and over and over again. But he was like, wait, I want to finish what I'm trying to say. And all she kept doing was interrupting him over and over and over again to try to get her point in, which wasn't even that big of a point. It was just so that she could say something. And she also did it to Shelly right before that.
She did. It was the same
why
kind
I
of
understand
attitude, yeah.
why Ace went into that conversation the way that he did. Because also remember, I'm pretty sure Ace was listening to that, like, Amaya come at Shelly prior to that, because remember, he was downstairs. And a lot of that, if you're talking loud enough, a lot of it you can hear.
Yes.
From what it seems like,
that's
at
right.
least. So Ace was also already seeing that. So it's like, it's very clearly, a pattern with her.
Her communication is a little, I don't know.
So
she's very, she, I don't know if it's like she's coming from a place of like being defensive or if she's just aggressive. But she does, I don't think she's aggressive, though.
I think she's just super defensive for
I think it's defensive because I think she can be like super sweet.
Clearly, to Austin.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I think her and Austin are also.
I don't know. Austin's a wild card. After tonight,
you
wanted to get spanked and he wanted to watch and he wanted to do all kinds of things.
He did have the highest counts of just about everything.
But before I forget, how about, so I've told you Ace gives me like red flags. Why not just pick Shelly as opposed to going these games that he plays?
I think he's like afraid to be with her.
Insecure might be.
I think it's that, and I think it's also like he's projecting a lot of his fears of being with her, like in a like real relationship. He projects that onto other people. Like he's been projecting his fears and insecurities onto like Huda and Jeremiah since day one.
That's true.
Where we see them, having trying to build an actual relationship. And I think this is also kind of like what started a lot of the issues we're starting to see with them is Ace constantly projecting and having a lot of negativity that he's throwing at them to the point where it's like, and he knows that Jeremiah listens at that point, and he continuously doubles down, whether it's in while Jeremiah's there
when he got kissed tonight. Ace was like, when Jeremiah got kissed tonight by the bombshell, Ace was like, yes, yes, like, yes, do it. I mean, I get it. It's guys, egging each other on, but I still feel like, I don't know. There's something off about him. And then the whole trash talking behind Huda's back, like, I just didn't feel it was what they said. They said that she was, like, being, like, like, her intentions weren't genuine.
Yeah, it was, her intentions aren't genuine. She's not here for the right reasons. She's playing it safe.
She's a fake. And
I think, me personally,
let us know what you think. Comment. We want to hear from you.
I think personally, I give Huda a little bit more, like, room and space to grow, only because I don't think of Huda as just Huda. Like, the way I think of Shelly as just Shelly. She's a mom, so she's had to grow up quick. She's not just thinking for herself. Sure, it's her love life, but it's also, she has to think about it from the perspective of, okay, the person that I'm choosing to grow with here is who essentially I would be trying to grow with outside of here, and who the person that's gonna be meeting my child at some point, if, like, we continue to go in the right direction.
Yeah.
So for her, it's not just, oh, well, I'm just, trying to find somebody to hang out with. It's, I have to make sure that I have vetted this person as best as I humanly can before we leave here and they meet my child, and because it's going to be, her child, but also her baby father, who is also a big part of her life. And that'll never go away. And I know that was something Alondria tried to tell Jeremiah, well, if he's toxic, like, he's never going to go away, like, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah. So I understand why she does act the way she does sometimes, because it's like, and this is the thing too, we're looking at Bella, like, Bella just left. She's doing all these interviews now, talking about the conversations we never got to see, and how Nick
has a different perspective.
Yeah, like, Nick was saying, apparently telling her, oh, like, you have nothing to worry about with the recoupling, like, this, that, and the third, making it seem like they were solid, which is very well what Jeremiah could be doing with her.
I think Nick is playing a game. No offense, I keep saying this, but
Nick is
I don't trust him too much. I don't know.
As far as I can
But what do you think about the breakfast that Ace put together? Like, so there was, like, do you think it was stepping on toes, or do you feel that Austin is just too passive?
I think Austin's just way too passive. I don't blame Shelly at all for starting to gravitate towards Ace, because Ace is stepping it up all the time. Like, he's taking time out of...
This is also the same guy who doesn't want to be called babe and doesn't want to be touched.
I think it's also, though, he doesn't want that from the person that he knows isn't the one that he wants to, like... Because
it also... how he licked that pie off of Shelly? I don't know.
But that's the thing, is that I think Ace, he's reserved from everyone else, unless it's the person that he actually wants something with. Which is, like, it's a good and a bad thing, because he shouldn't have treated Amaya that way. Yeah. But I also think that Amaya was coming in really, really strong. Probably, in my personal opinion, worse than Huda. Huda, at least, they have conversations where Jeremiah is like, she's like, well, we're, I guess kind of open. But Jeremiah also will double down and be like, well, you're also mine. Like, I'm yours, so you got nothing to worry about.
Nobody belongs to anyone. I'm just saying, though.
But, like, at least Huda, in comparison, she's like, you know what? If you really feel the need to, then fine. Again, remember, Jeremiah's the one that...
they're love bombing each other.
But Jeremiah's the one that also is insisting that he doesn't want to do that. So I can't... he's giving her all this, like reassurance that he's not going anywhere. So I also understand why if she's gonna crash out, like, I would too. If you sitting there telling me, like, and I'm trying to be like, you know what, if you want to get to know somebody that comes in here, that's fine. Be open about it. Don't then look at me afterwards and be like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, it's you and me. But then you are acting out the first chance you get. But that wasn't the purpose of why I brought them up. at least Huda, like, tries to give it a little bit of leeway. Amaya came in, got with Ace, and immediately started acting like she was locking him in.
Yeah, that's
the biggest difference between the two. And that's why I'm like, well, no, girl, you're in the wrong. Like,
that's true. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So we have to at least touch on the lace and leather party.
Child.
Whoa.
There was a lot going on.
Whoa. Pepe and Jalen, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
They took full advantage of that kissing session.
Jalen definitely did.
By the way, Huda wasn't complaining. Although she didn't say,
she didn't really
said,
complain
oh
about
my
the
God,
first one.
I was scared he was going to swallow me up.
No, she said he was. It wasn't I was scared. She said he was swallowing me. And she said
Which
it like
not
she
a
was.
compliment.
No, it's not. And she said it in a way that she was heavily disturbed and looked disturbed afterwards. I think a lot of them looked disturbed after that
But
kiss.
then Jeremiah, he got a bombshell kiss and he enjoyed it. He seemed to. I don't know.
I don't got nothing to say on Jeremiah. Jeremiah's just...
So right now,
I think Jeremiah also likes to do a little tit for tat sometimes.
Oh, 100%. I think so. I think... Who do you think is going to go for the bombshell? So she likes Jeremiah and Nick. I think Nick will slide into third base.
I think...
Give him one shot.
Unless she's going to put, like, Huda in her place, in a sense.
Did you see Huda? She was like, better not fuck with my man.
Basically, yeah. But she said, that's enough, thank you.
That's basically, get the fuck off my man.
But did he also get off? Yes, he did too.
Yeah, he did.
So, he's the same guy talking about, he treats me like a child, but you listen like one, don't you?
He did.
So I don't want to hear it. Don't get mad that you're being treated like a child if you also acted like one and you listening like one.
It's gonna get hot in that villa.
Let me tell you this: that next episode, every single person there is gonna get a new one ripped into them. Everybody's getting in trouble.
I can't wait.
But I think Jeremiah's gonna have a really hard time getting to know other people if he wants, like, if it's actually what he wants to do. I think it's also because of how he's portrayed himself up until this point as well. Huda's very, she's like, don't mess with what's mine as well. Probably also because she does, at this point, she's like, I've gotten to know, I've been getting to know this guy for 2 weeks now. I've already told him about my kid. I've told his best friend about my kid so that he has somebody to talk to.
I think that's locked in yet. Because I know there was at one point she asked him, like, if they were locked in, like if this was, and he was like, I can't, like he basically said I can't guarantee.
He said that, and then she looked at him and was like, well, if that's the case, then like, can I, yeah, I'll see other people too. And then he was like, wait, that's not what I was saying. So I think that's a good example though of like kind of what I was saying about Huda and a little bit of like, I guess it's territorialness, because that's a clear example of Jeremiah making it seem like he's all about her, but then also having like a sway moment, and then she's like, okay, well, then if you're gonna do it, let me do it too.
I just don't see that long. I don't know.
I could see her in the future if it's just it comes to the end and like they end up not to the end, but like after Casa, for example, if she's still there and he's still there and they're still together, and if he brings someone back.
That's right, Casa.
Casa is coming up, what, 2 weeks, I'm assuming?
In 2 weeks?
Or, I would say about week 4, week 5-ish.
I think
right?
Sounds
about right. Because it's usually past week 3. It's after the halfway mark.
It's gonna
be
fire.
I could see Huda, if it just doesn't work out, her being like, you know what? I just can't be here anymore.
And just leave.
Yeah, and just leave. Because to do all of that all over again, to then have to tell another guy about her kid and like go through all of that all over. I don't see it. I think that's why she's very selective about who she has told and not wanting to tell. That's I think my only thing with Jeremiah is it bothers me. Well, not my only thing, but it's one of my things with Jeremiah where it bothers me that he knows what he knows about their relationship and about who Hood is and why Hood is the way she is. And she asked him, she was like, you didn't stand up for me or for our relationship or anything. And he was like, well, I don't remember what I said. And she looked at him like,
cop out.
She was like, be for real.
Cop out.
So what I'm hoping is at least now that, what's his name? Nick. Now that Nick knows, I'm hoping that'll at least help change the narrative a little bit. And that Nick will be like, you know what? I have a better understanding of who you are and why you are the way that you are. I can no longer say the things that like I was saying prior, and at least try to help protect their relationship a little bit more.
I'm gonna have to.
That's the hope. I don't think Nick ain't doing much, but
I have to bring this up because we I don't want to forget again. Charlie.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I forgot about him.
No offense, Charlie, but it's just he's the same way that he.
I think he's gonna sway towards the bombshell. He's just like
Charlie. The issue with Charlie is that he doesn't really make much of an effort ever for anything. I'm surprised he's making this much of an effort with this girl. What's her name? Hannah. Yeah, I'm surprised he's making this much of an effort because it was one of the things he complained about in the beginning. He was like, "Well, none of the girls are like gravitating towards me or whatever. Like nobody's paying any attention to me. I'm all single." I'm like, Charlie, you didn't try in the first place. You did absolutely nothing. You sat there, and it's kind of the same thing as what Austin's doing. Ace is walking all over him because Austin isn't taking he's not taking initiative to actually get Shelly's attention. The only thing he's done was that what was it, the meditation date, and that was the same date that he did with Amaya on the boardwalk where he kissed her for the first time.
Well, we'll have to see how that proceeds, but at least what's his name? Taylor's making an effort. It seems him and Alondria are trying to spark a little something.
Finally, it's about damn time. They've been
sitting
there
I didn't think that was going to happen.
Not doing much.
Although now Jalen's into her, so we're going to have to see. He has competition now.
And it's going to all depend on if Jalen is open and makes a lot of that initiative to do things and to be there. Because if he's another one that he got lucky that Alondria, she likes what she likes and she wants a country boy, and that's it. Like that's all. That's why she doesn't have a lot of option. Is because she wants a country boy. That's why you haven't noticed she didn't go towards anybody else but Taylor for that reason. I think Taylor gravitated towards Alondria for that reason because she wanted a country boy. She's a country girl. They're like, you know what? They're both, I think, a little bit more on that traditional side from what it seems.
Yeah. So
that's the only option that he has.
Well, we'll have to see. So as of now, who's your favorite couple?
None of them.
Either. I don't like any of them.
It's kind of sad that we're at week 2 now, and I don't like any of them.
I don't either. How about you guys? I want to know. Do you have any favorite couples?
Please let us know.
I want to
Even
know.
if they're not like favorites, they're just like I guess I like them.
Let us know. Yeah.
Because, you think back to, and not even just last year's season, the seasons prior to that with,
we already had like some kind of
by week 2,
yeah,
we had an idea of, okay, I like this couple, I like that couple. Like, what was it, 2 years ago, you had, Hannah and Marco. You knew from the beginning of them.
You?
I do. Or even before that, you had, it was Josh and Shannon. They were like the it couple. They went through a lot, but they were like the it couple. And you had, oh my God, I can't remember that other couple. But you had at least 2 couples that you were like, you know what, I like these couples.
That's true.
And then you had the first season that we started watching, which was, I think it was Cache and Cinco. Even though they had all that drama, because they were another triangle that was all over the place. But we had multiple. Oh my God, and I forgot the name of that other guy that he was there for a while. Olivia and I forgot his name. She was Cache became best friends with her man for the longest. But we had multiple couples throughout all these years that by week 2, you were like, nah, this is a good couple. I see this couple going all the way to the end. Nothing feels fake here. All these couples feel like the girls, it's starting to look like they hate each other, minus Shelly and Olandria. They loved, obviously Bella was part of their trio, but my girl Bella Dasha gone.
I don't know, I guess we'll have to tune in and see what happens next. But at this point, I think the real things to watch out for aren't even the romantic elements, because
unfortunately,
I don't even see any romance. Like, I don't see any, like, I see chemistry, because
I see sexual chemistry.
There's
no emotional
even
chemistry.
Because even Huda and Jeremiah, when the lights come down, I don't know what is going on down there, but we hear a lot. We hear a lot of...
As Kendall last season would say,
yeah,
they get nasty.
But we're going to have to look out for the ego battles. And I have to say it because you know how I feel about this. And the unspoken trauma that is running amok in that villa. Because there's a lot of unhealed wounds going on.
We got, who was it? Amaya saying something about when things get calm, it bothers her and she likes it toxic. She likes to start arguments to get toxic.
Hannah too. She said she loves chaos. Like, who loves chaos?
Y'all are a problem.
So,
which makes sense. Amaya makes sense.
Yeah.
After that comment,
she probably thinks that's the fireworks.
And then
it's not necessarily a good. I don't think that's a good thing.
Who else do we have essentially?
And Austin, I don't know. Austin is like in I don't know what kind of realm, but
Austin he's freaking the sheets. That's all he wants. He said, "I like to watch.
I'll watch. I'll get beat up, whatever it is he said. He gets spanked or whatever.
He said, you can whip me, choke me.
But I have to say that the messy meter is full. The red flags are freaking flying all over the place. And the emotional intelligence is still on back order. So tune in for our next episode.
I'm sorry, I know it clicked so late.
Tune in for our next episode because this is only week 2. We're going to need some cocktails and some backup. And we're going to charge our light because it just went out. Loves, thank you so much for joining us.
Water after this week.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Villa Vibes and Hot Takes with my guest, Avani. I will speak to you soon.
Miss Bella, we miss you. Come back.